Well, good evening or good afternoon, and welcome to Bigfork Valkyrie Basketball BFST events on YouTube. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Running a little bit behind. Just finished up with a boys JV action, and I'll get those scores to you a little bit later on here on the pregame. Once again, it's the Valkyries taking on the Breakers here from Missoula, Montana, Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. Thanks for tuning in. And it is first game up of this doubleheader. We had 6 games, so 4 completed already. And the Valkyries getting ready to take on the Loyola Breakers in action here. And we're getting ready to kick things off. Pregame brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, it includes the Dominion's Bakery and Deli. Bigfork Harvest Foods at 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, 837-5010. And thanks to Marcus Balgos and the gangs at Bigfork Harvest Foods for their sponsorship of Bigfork High School basketball. So I had a chance to sit down and talk with head coach Courtney Gunlock before the ball game. And I'll bring that interview to you and what she had to say pregame here before the Valkyries get ready to take on the Breakers. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here in Missoula, Montana, home of Loyola Breakers and Rams. And it's Bigfork Valkyrie basketball here. James LaFontaine, along with the head coach of the Valkyries, Courtney Gunlock, and getting ready to take on the Breakers today in non-conference but divisional action, which is kind of important. You've played Deer Lodge already and taken care of them, so haven't taken on Anaconda or Arley or you just played Florence so far, so this will be the second team out of our divisionals, which will be in Ronan coming up later in February. So I want to go back a couple games after that Florence game where you beat them pretty handily. In that game, your senior and one of your leading scorers, Emma, goes down, and so you had to play a couple games without Emma. Talk about the effect on that when you guys went and played and took on at home. I believe, you took on Eureka, and unfortunately I missed that game, and then you had to travel to Mission. So let's talk about the Eureka game and how you had to adjust for that and missing the presence of Emma.
Emma's a huge part of this team as a senior, as a captain, and as our leading scorer most games. It was a huge loss. We had to have some other people step up, and we just had to keep playing team ball. It gave a couple other bench players some more playing time and more opportunity, and we actually came out and we shot really well, and we played hard, and we played well against Eureka.
Yeah, you did a nice job. Then you go down to Mission, and you struggled a little bit. Your first loss of the season against a conference foe and Mission, but from what I understand, looking at kind of thing, Mission hit a lot of threes in that game.
Yeah, no, we definitely went down to Mission. Braden Gunlock, one of our other starters, had 2 fouls in the first 50 seconds, so that definitely hurt us as well. And I had 3 in foul trouble before the half, and so it definitely wasn't our best performance, defensive or offensively. And I got to give it to Mission. They came out, they played hard, and they shot very well.
Yeah, they're a team that I know they can live or they can die by the 3. If they're not hitting, then they're in big time trouble because you guys can get your runouts and go if they're missing. So that's kind of key to that particular game. But you get right back into action on Tuesday, taking on a Class A team, Columbia Falls. And I'm sorry, probably the first half of that game at home, that's probably one of the worst shooting basketball games I ever seen offensively. But I'll say this about both teams. They stuck in it with their defense, and that's what I think was key to you guys, that your kids never quit and they kept playing hard and kept themselves in the ball game. And sometimes you have to win ugly. So talk about that against Sioux Falls, because the second half was much better. Scored 30 in the second half, only 8 in the first half. So, sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah. I actually was very proud of those girls that night to persevere through a very bad first half of shooting. And honestly, it was probably our worst shooting night performance of the year by far. I give it to Columbia Falls. They sunk in a 1-3-1, and they were going to make a score from the outside, and we could not the first half, and we weren't in good rebounding position. But like you said, they stuck it out. They didn't give up. They kept playing really hard defense, and so we got some shots to fall in the second half, and it opened some things up. But I'm really proud to hold a Sioux Falls team that's good to 30 points is pretty impressive to me.
Well, yeah, and, it seemed like the first half that there was a lid on that basket. It's like, excuse me, it was like, hey, somebody go take the lid off the basket, because it was like go in and come out, and it was like, I was getting ready to say something on the mic, and it's like, nothing, right? But the second half, I thought really key to the second half. I'm going to give this to your daughter. She hit some crucial threes, and that really opened things up. And then you guys seemed to take off after that, because then you got a little more confidence in shooting those. She made a couple in a row and then missed that third one, which was close. But then, Emma started hitting some, and it really started to dominate against Sioux Falls. And the key to that, we talk about this all the time, defense is going to be key to your team, and defense will lead to offense, and defense will always keep you in the game, because no matter if you're not scoring, you can rely on playing defense. No, it was the first time we've actually had Emma back in 2 weeks, and it was very apparent they didn't have their normal chemistry, and I think it started coming back in the second half. Yeah, and so looking forward to today. So you haven't played since Tuesday, right? So now taking on Loyola. Talk about Loyola. You guys overall 7-1 in league, right? So in first place, and 11-1 overall, and beating all the Class A schools. The only loss against Mission. And I kind of, you playing without one of your starters, you played well, but not well enough. But they're 5-0 in league and 7-2 overall. So, they'll probably be on the other side of the bracket, it looks like, when we come to divisionals, depending on how districts line up as well. So talk about Loyola, what they do well and what you've seen on film, and what you're going to have to do well against them.
Yeah, no, Loyola is definitely the top of their district right now. They beat Anaconda, who's a powerhouse as well. Loyola impresses me. They're very scrappy, they're very physical, and they have good speed. They have great outside perimeter shooting. So we really have to take care of the ball. We have to be strong with the ball. Good, crisp, clean passes. We need to block them out. They are aggressive on the offensive board. So we're going to have to play a good, clean game.
Yeah, you got Natalie Clevenger, the younger Clevenger sisters, now a senior, still playing for them. Evelyn DeShands, who's been at Janetsky, who came from Florence and is now playing for Loyola underneath. So, but I think, the way you guys play, your defense, that's going to be, again, key to the game. Defense and getting those runouts against them. So I know Ava's a little banged up, so but she's also key. Your starting five is just unbelievable. They're phenomenal, because anybody can bring the ball up the court. Anybody can shoot from anywhere, inside or out. And, I think the one that makes you go, the energy of, obviously, of Madison Champius, and she did a phenomenal job against Sioux Falls on the boards and playing defense. And, she does those little things. When I was talking to Matt on the sidelines, she does those things that don't show up on the scorebook, in the paper, but as a coach and as fans, you recognize that energy that she brings to the team.
Yeah, no, Maddie does all the little things, like I've said before, all the dirty work that you don't ever get credit for, but is super important for a team to have success. You need a player like that, and she definitely is a powerhouse that way for us.
Well, so you take on Loyola today, so a Western B foe, and then next week we'll have you go to Troy on Thursday. I'll come and broadcast that game, but they're down in a skill level as well. The same thing with Plains at home on Saturday. So and then you get into another A school in Polson. That'll be interesting at home, and then wrap up with Thompson Falls on senior night. So the rest of the season, exciting. What do you think about? I want to ask you this, because I haven't asked the coaches yet, and I'll ask Coach Hollow as well. What do you think of Bigfork hosting the district tournament I think that, the game's right there in Bigfork High School.
Well, absolutely exciting. It was kind of like Eureka having divisionals. You get your home court, you get your fans, and I'm super excited.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have to be a little more unbiased, so I got to kind of yell for both teams when they score. But I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to having that. So is I know Matt is as well. So that'll be good to feature Bigfork High School. Because I talked to ADs and I talked to coaches around the Western B, and one of the places and one of the things they say, they love to come play basketball at Bigfork because the game and the atmosphere that the fans and our band, our student section, when everybody's there, that the atmosphere that we have there at Bigfork High School. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. So looking forward to the game today, and good luck as always. And get a chance to talk to you on the post game before we get into the boys game. That would be nice as well. So good luck and go Vals.
Thank you.
All right, head coach Courtney Gunlock joining me on the pregame show, brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. It's always nice to talk to the coach and listen to what she has to say and how the Valkyries are doing. A stretch where, Emma Barrett, the senior, who's a 4-year starter for Bigfork, and key to their team, really. Mostly the leading scorer, if not one of the top 2 scorers on the team, always, and they miss her when she's not there. So had to sit out after the Florence game with a concussion, and back playing against Sioux Falls after missing a couple games against Eureka and Mission. So hitting their stride and looking for a good ball game today here in Loyola against the Breakers. The Breakers in first place. They took care of Anaconda, so they're 4-0, or check that. They are 5-0 in league and 7-2 overall. It's the latest stuff I got from Max Preps on them. So once again, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals. You can send me a little message on the streaming, or you can text me at 406-270-7384. Let me know you're listening out there. We're running a little bit behind because of action earlier. And I'll get down to what happened in earlier action. Let's look, first of all, at the boys' side. And I'll repeat these as well when the boys play as well. On the boys' side, in freshman boys, it was Loyola 51 and the Vikings 44. Just wrapping up a heck of a ball game. The Vikings battling back. They were down by actually 12 points and battled back, lost 47-45 in the JV game that just wrapped up here in Loyola at the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. On the girls' side, a shortened quarter, if you will, 4-minute quarters for freshmen or C-team action. And it was Loyola 23 and Bigfork 16. And another great game in JV action. And the girls had an opportunity there. They were down and they were able to pull back within a few. I think they were down by 8 in the fourth quarter, and then they lose that one 46-43 to Loyola in girls JV action. Now we get into varsity action. Well, first up are the Valkyries taking on the Breakers. And I'll be back here in about 1 minute or so. I'll give you your starting lineups. And we'll get underway here in Loyola, in Missoula, Montana, as the Valkyries get ready to take on the Breakers. Right, well, welcome back to Missoula, Montana, just to Rita Mudd Activity Center. The Valkyries warming up, and take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping from getting fit? They have discounted guest passes you can buy online. Personal training, Pilates, a lot more. 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, 837-2582. First of all, the starters for Loyola, the Breakers. It'll be the 5'8 senior captain number 2, Natalie Clevenger. Also a captain at 5'5", senior number 4, Kennedy McCorkle. At 5'7", junior number 10, Charlotte Cummings. At 5'6", a sophomore, number 20, Gio Horner. And then a 5'10", senior, number 24, Jamie Janetsky, for head coach Maddie Keast. This is by Lee Camel and Beth Sutter. And the starting lines for the Valkyries, the usuals have going today. And we have 5'8", senior guard, number 11, Captain Emma Barrett. At 5'10", guard forward, junior, number 14, Madison Chapius. The freshman, 5'7", guard, number 15, Ava Davey. The other freshman at guard forward, 5'11", freshman, number 21, Braden Gunlock. And then captain, forward post at 5'11", junior, number 22, Scout New for head coach Courtney Gunlock. Assisted by Jasper Torres, Brandy Couture, and Paula Sullivan. That's your starting lineups for today's ball game. As the clock winds down, Loyola will be in their whites with red numbers. And then the Valkyries. The Valkyries in their powder blue uniforms with white numbers as we get ready for the national anthem. And I'll let that play right here, and I'll participate as well as we play the national anthem here in Loyola. Thanks for joining us here on BFSD Events on YouTube. It's the Valkyries taking on the Breakers. All right, the national anthem complete. Getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for both teams, and we'll get underway here at the Sister Rita Munn Event Center. A lot of Bigfork fans down here to listen in as well. Jack and Donna Gannier listening from Bigfork. Go Vals and Vikes. So we'll have the Vals game up first, and then I'll take a short break, and then I'll queue up so we can keep them separate. I'll have the Vikings game right after that. So they're playing back-to-back this doubleheader in Class B, Western B divisional action here in Missoula, Montana. Great to be here with you, back. And now I apologize ahead of time. Recovering. As many of you know, I missed a couple games out sick, so my voice is a little scratchy, so I apologize ahead of time, but I'll do my best here today in this ball game. So the Valkyries introduced already, and now they're going to introduce the Breakers for Loyola. And this should be a really good, interesting ball game and a good test for the Valkyries in Western B and see how they measure up. Obviously, Powell County as well as Florence, not as talented. The other talented team in this division I see is Anaconda, and the Valkyries won't get an opportunity to play them until divisionals. and they could see the same Loyola team again as well. So 17th through the 19th, we have districts at Bigfork High School. So I know Jack is excited about that. 14 games at Bigfork, 2 at Swan River. So it'll be a packed 3 days of district action at Bigfork High School and highlighting things. So we're ready to get underway, tipping it up, and 3 referees tonight for this ball game. And it'll be Braden Gunlock going up against Clevenger on the tip. The Valkyries, powder blue, white with white trim and white numbers, and they'll head right to left. Rams will hit, or the Breakers will head left to right, and the Breakers get the tip. Stolen away right away by Davey. Davey looking to drive. Gets it out. Stolen away on the pass. And Barrett off the glass and scored 2 is Horner for Loyola. Barrett over to Gunlock. Gunlock underneath. Chapius looking to drive underneath and gets hacked. No, they call it a held ball. This time Bigfork will remain with possession as the Breakers got the opening tip. So Bigfork with the basketball underneath. Davey will get it into Barrett. Barrett, Braden, Gunlock. Underneath to Chafius. Out to Barrett. 3-point shot from the right wing. And Barrett will get 3 free throws as she gets knocked down. Misses the 3. And she's going to be fouled there by number 10. That's Charlotte Cummings. That's her first. And Barrett to the line to shoot 3 for the Valkyries. First shot up. Good. And she'll get 2 more. As she got fouled on the 3-point shot. Second one up. Well, a little strong, in and out. And 1 more for Emma Barrett. She makes the third one, so we're tied at 2 with 7:26 to go here in the first quarter. Clevenger across the timeline. We'll kick it over. Back to Horner, back to Clevenger. Clevenger bothered by Davey up underneath to Janetsky. Janetsky blocked by and out of bounds by Scout Nadeau. And Loyola inbound underneath. We'll get it into 10. That's Cummings. We'll kick it out to Horner. Horner back to underneath to McCorkle. McCorkle guarded by Davey. McCorkle trying to drive off the glass and scores 2. And the Breakers up 4-2 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Chapius in the corner to Nadeau. Cross court to Barrett. Barrett. Chapius, Barrett, top of the key, looks, fakes the drive, up, shoots a floater off the glass. No good. Chapius right there for the rebound. And Chapius is going to get fouled. And Bigfork will get the ball underneath. And fouls on number 2, Natalie Clevenger, her second team foul on the Breakers. Gunlock to inbound, looking, finds Davey. Davey looking underneath. Was going to hit Gunlock on the cut. And Clevenger comes up with it for Loyola. Driving off the glass, blocked there partially by Gunlock. Chapius up to Scout Nadeau, right side. Nadeau looking underneath. Knocked away by Clevenger. It'll remain Bigfork basketball. Or check that. They say it's off Nadeau. It'll be Loyola basketball with 6:20 to go and a 4-2 lead for the Breakers. Clevenger. Over to Horner. Horner back to Clevenger. Pressure defense put on by the Valkyries. Mccorkle will kick it up. Horner, 2-point shot on the way. And Barrett knocks it out of bounds, keeps it away from Janetsky. Excuse me. It'll be remain Ram Breaker basketball for Loyola and Clevenger to inbound underneath on the near side. Looking. Gets it underneath. Knocked away. Picked up there by McCorkle. Clevenger fakes the 3-point shot. Janetsky with the basketball. Top of the key. McCorkle 3-point shot on the way. And McCorkle drains the 3. And the Valkyries down 7-2. Quickly up. Chapius looking. to drive. Gets it up to Davy. Davy can't throw it through Horner. Horner on the drive, left-handed, scores 2. And Bigfork will take a timeout. As the Valkyries trail 9-2 with 5:32 to go on your Flathead Lake Glide scoreboard. And a full timeout taken by the Valkyries here early. So Valkyries a little bit off. Can't quite get it to go down. Pressure defense put on by Loyola. And I'll be back with more of the first quarter as the Valkyries trail 9-2 on your Flathead Lake Glide scoreboard. All right, we're back here in Missoula, Sister Rita Mud Activity Center, and Valkyrie basketball trailing by 7 early. Gunlock quickly up. Nadeau over to Barrett. Barrett looking. Top of the key, driving. Kicks in the corner. Gunlock. Gunlock on the drive. Shoots up the floater. No good, but Chapius right there puts it back up. No good. The rebound come down for Loyola. And turnover off Mccorkle as Barrett comes up within the backcourt. Brings it across the timeline. We'll give it to Chapius. Chapius, Davy. 3-point shot on the way by Davy is good. Ava Joe Davy with a 3-point shot brings the Valkyries within 9-5. Clevenger, Horner, Janetsky back to Clevenger, top of the key. Horner looking to drive. Bigfork defense right there. Clevenger underneath. Janetsky top of the key. Over to McCorkle. McCorkle looking to drive. Davy nearly knocks it away. And it'll be off Davy. Remain Loyola basketball with 4:37 to go here in the first quarter. McCorkle gets it into Clevenger. Clevenger over to Horner. Horner back out to Clevenger, top of the key. Kicking it, stolen away by Gunlock. Gunlock looking back to Davy. Davy looking left-handed, right-handed off the there, but Gunlock right there gets the rebound, and she's going to get fouled. And that could be the second on Clevenger. And that is the second, third team foul. And that'll bring in number 3, Aura Lindauer. Bigfork basketball underneath Barrett. We'll get it out to Davy. Davy looking to drive. Off the glass, right hand misses it. Too strong by Davy. She's got that tape on the right hand, so maybe that affecting her shot. Chapius diving on the ground with Janetsky. And Loyola takes a 30-second timeout before the turnover. And 9-5, 4:12 to go here in the first quarter. The Valkyries trail by 4 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard here from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Glad to be with you here in Missoula. 406-270-7384. Let me know you're listening out there. Also, you can message me on the stream, and I'm able to see that as well. So 4:12 to go. Loyola got the timeout before they turned it over, so Bigfork putting on some pressure. And Loyola inbound in the front court. Looking, tipped away by Gunlock. Gunlock. Davy comes up with a loose ball. Davy looking to drive off the glass. Oh, she'll go to the line and shoot 2, but almost made it. And almost had a chance for a 3-point play as Gunlock tipped the inbound pass, and Davy picked it up, drove it all the way to the basket, and she'll shoot 2 with 4:07 to go. Davy's first shot off the rim, no good. Obviously her wrist still bothering her. Trying to play today, play through it, and Davy will get one more. Davy's second shot off the rim, no good. Chapius battling with Janetsky. And it'll be held ball. It'll be Loyola basketball, but Chapius hustling there to tie up Janetsky. Horner gets it back from McCorkle, and Horner will bring it across the timeline. Gunlock right there. Pressure put on. Horner. 3-point shot in the way. No good. Right, blocked underneath. And Lindauer tried to pass it out, knocked out of bounds by Bigfork. It'll remain Loyola basketball with 3:48 to go. Upstairs behind the Missoula side, behind the glass, calling the game. Quickly out. 3-point shot on the way off the rim, no good. Right there, Loyola with the rebound, throwing it back up. And Loyola comes up with it. Chapius. And a late whistle as the shot went up by Horner, and foul called on Scout Nadeau, her first team foul. And Horner at the line to shoot two. She makes the first one, 10-5 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Second up by Horner is good. And 11-5 score as the Breakers lead the Valkyries. So Barrett quickly across, gives it up to Gunlock. Gunlock looking for Chapius. Davey looking to drive, out. Scout Nadeau, 2-point shot on the way. Right there, Davey to get the rebound, but knocked away by Loyola's Cummings and out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball here on the near side, and Chapius to inbound for the Valkyries. Inbound to Barrett. Barrett will give it out to Davey. Davey on the left wing looking for Chapius. Chapius out to Nadeau. Nadeau can't handle the pass. On the right wing, loses it out of bounds. It'll be turned over to Loyola. With 3:14 to go here. And into Horner. Horner across the timeline for Loyola. Horner over to Mccorkle. Back across to Horner. Horner looking to drive. Poked away by Chapius. Excuse me. And out of bounds, it'll remain Loyola basketball. And Horner to inbound. Gets it in. Nearly stole away by Gunlock. Mccorkle looking to drive. And Chapius right there should get called for the blocking foul. That's her first and second on the Valkyries. Loyola inbound. Gets it into Mccorkle. 3-point shot by Mccorkle. Top of the key and makes it. So into Barrett as the Valkyries trail by 9, 14-5. Scout Nadeau on the left wing looking for Chapius. Chapius stopped cutting. Nadeau threw the pass anyway. Turnover to the Breakers. And Lindauer give it to, and the drive is Loyola. Coming up is Barrett. Barrett looking to run for Bigfork. She'll bring it out to the top of the key and settle it down. Corner. Gunlock. 3-point shot by Gunlock. Nothing but the bottom of the net by Braden Gunlock. And the Valkyries within 6, 14-8. The Fork Harvest Food scoreboard. Horner looking. Barrett with a steal left-handed. Scott Gunlock on the run. A blocking foul and a 3-point play opportunity by Emma Barrett as Horner picks up the blocking foul and Barrett drives it all the way in. The basket is good. And the Valkyries within 4, 14-10, 2:06 to go in the first quarter, and Barrett at the line to shoot the N1 for the Valkyries. Up, off the rim, no good. Run down by Chapius. Nice hustle. Feeds it in Nadeau. Nadeau off the glass. Good for two. Scout Nadeau. Nice pass by Chapius. And Horner will bring it up for the Breakers. Gunlock, Gardner right there, pokes it away and out of bounds. The quick hands and the long arms of Braden Gunlock on defense for the Valkyries. Horner to inbound, far side in the front court. She'll get it into Lindauer. Or check that, come McCorkle. McCorkle on the drive, guarded by Davey. And backdoor underneath, knocked away. Pass intended there for Cummings. Knocked away by Bigfork, out of bounds. I believe that was Chapius. Loyola inbounds. Lindauer. She stepped on the middle court line, and that's an over and back violation on Loyola. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 1:35 to go. The Valkyries within 2 at 14-12. And number 13, Evelyn the Blondes. Deschamps in Davy, right wing. Gunlock underneath Chapius, right corner by Scout Nadeau on the drive. Baseline drive ties it at 14 with 120 to go. And across the timeline, Loyola with a basketball. And Horner with the basketball looking underneath. Right there, Bigfork basketball. Davy comes up with a loose ball as it's tipped away there by Scout Nadeau. And Davy with the basketball across the timeline, feeds it to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive, kicks in the corner. And a blocking foul on Janetsky. And that's Janetsky's first 16th foul. And Clevenger will come back in the ball game. Horner will sit down. And number 1, Addison Jacobson as well for the Breakers. Davy inbound, gets it to Chapius. Oh, feeds Gunlock underneath. Back out to Nadeau. 2-point shot on the way by Nadeau. No good. Janetsky with a rebound for Loyola with 50 seconds to go. We're tied at 14, quickly up. Clevenger looking to drive on Nadeau. And Nadeau's going to get called for the blocking foul. I believe that's her second. And number 24, Callie Gambala checking in. That's the second personal on Nadeau. Third team foul on the Vows. Loyola inbound. Clevenger looking to get it in. And off the hands of Jacobson, out of bounds. Turnover to Bigfork. 45.2 to go here in the first quarter. We're tied at 14 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Barrett, they're bringing it across the timeline for the Valkyries. Corner, Gambala, Chapius. Chapius looking to drive, steps through. Oh, had Davy cutting back door and throws it just a little bit hard. She hits her. She has a wide open layup. And the Breakers with the basketball. Clevenger across the timeline looking to drive. Out to Mccorkle. Feeds it under Janetsky. Off the glass. No good. Rebounder right there is Gunlock. Gunlock on the drive. Kicks it. Barrett off the glass is good. Nice pass by Gunlock driving all the way in and dishing it to Barrett, and the Valkyries take the lead 16-14. Clevenger, right side, right to Gunlock. Gunlock on the breakaway, left-handed off the glass is good. At the buzzer, the bucket counts by Braden Gunlock, and they take an 18-14 lead at the end of one on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. So she takes off. Had to take off a little bit early, get it up with the left hand, puts it off the glass and scores it before the clock runs out. So the Valkyries lead 18-14 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. I'll be back here from Missoula, Montana for the second quarter of this ball game. All right. We're ready for the second quarter here in Missoula, Montana, as the Valkyries storm back. Down early, actually down by 9, 14-5. They come back. They go on a 13-0 run and tie it up, and they'll get the basketball to start the second quarter. Into Davy. Davy will bring it across the timeline. Davy looking underneath. Looking to drive, kicks it over. Gunlock, up and under, kicks it out. Chapius underneath. Gambala up, left-handed hook, off the glass, no good. And Gunlock, along with Janetsky and Cummings, tied up. And possession belongs to Loyola. Clevenger, a little trap by Bigfork. Nearly got her to turn it over. Nat Clevenger looking underneath, gets it over to Cummings. Cummings out. Stolen away. Barrett's going to go coast to coast. Clevenger has to back off with the 2 fouls, and Barrett scores it for 2. Into Horner. Horner tipped away by Gunlock, and Chapius gets on the ground diving for it. And a good hustle there by Chapius. And that foul is going to be on Chapius, her second 14th foul on the Valkyries. Kicked there by Gunlock as McCorkle inbounding to Clevenger, and they'll inbound again. This time gets it into Clevenger. Clevenger looking to drive, guarded by Chapius. Will shook kick it out to Cummings. Cummings on the left side, kicks it cross court over to McCorkle. McCorkle looking to drive. Gunlock right there, and she'll get two as Gunlock will pick up the personal. And that's Gunlock's first 15 foul. And at the line, shooting two, number 4, Kennedy McCorkle for Loyola. The Valkyries up 20-14, make that 20-15, 6:57 to go on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. And McCorkle will get one more for the Breakers. Second shot up. This is good. Within 4 at 20-16. Into Davey. Davey right side. Across the timeline. Has tried to feed Gambala underneath. They say it was off Bigfork. It'll be Loyola basketball. 6:48 and counting. Horner kicks it over. Underneath. Stolen away by Davey on the pass intended for McCorkle. Davey right up, going to drive it right in, all the way left-handed off the glass. Misses it, but Chapius right there with the rebound and held ball. It'll be Bigfork basketball with the possession arrow. And a nice drive there by Davey, but can't finish it. So Bigfork will inbounds, leading 20-16. Gets it into Chapius. Chapius looking back underneath. Finds Gunlock. Gunlock looking to drive. Guarded by Clevenger. Gunlock scores it, and that'll be Clevenger's third personal here in the first half. And Gunlock to try to complete the three-point play. 17th foul on Loyola. And Clevenger's going to have to sit down. That'll bring in Lindauer for Loyola. And Gunlock at the line to shoot the N1. Shot up and rims it around and knocks it down, completing the three-point play the old-fashioned way. And the Shans will come in for Loyola, replacing Janetsky. 23-16, 6:27 to go here till halftime. The Valkyries up by 7. Off her foot quickly. Gunlock up, off the glass is good. And timeout taken by Loyola. A full timeout as on that play quickly. Horner off her foot and picked up by Bigfork. Fed Gunlock. Gunlock took it all the way to the basket and with the left hand scores it. And 25-16 is the score on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. The Valkyries lead after trailing 14-5. They've outscored them 20-2. So Valkyries really picking it up and really scoring well. Ava's grandpa listening, I believe, all the way from South Carolina. Met them last week. Ava's struggling just a little bit with that injury to her right hand and that wrist, so hopefully that heals up. But she's still playing hard for the Valkyries. 6:16 to go here till halftime, 25-16. The Valkyries lead on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. So Davey, Gunlock, Barrett, Chapius, as well as Gambala in the ballgame for Bigfork. Horner looking to drive, kicks it over, underneath. Deshawn's puts it up, no good. Rebounded there by Gunlock. Gunlock quickly up the court fast. Davey, left wing, gets it over to Barrett. Barrett looking, going to drive. Emma Barrett off the glass, no good. Right there, Gunlock with the rebound, puts it off the glass, no good on the reverse. And Deshawn's comes up with the rebound for Loyola. But a nice effort there by Gunlock. Keep crashing the board. Underneath, corner, shot in the way, off the glass, no good. Deshawn's comes up with the rebound, feeds it underneath the Horner. Horner off the glass, no good. Bigfork right there. Chapius comes up with the rebound for the Valkyries. She'll give it over to Gunlock. Gunlock in the backcourt. Brings it across the timeline for Bigfork. Over to Chapius. Chapius top of the key, looking for a cutter. Chapius looking. Gets it over. Gambala underneath the Gunlock. Gunlock has Horner baseline. Off the glass, no good. And Gambala will come up the rebound. Gambala looking to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. Chapius on the drive. And she's trying to put it up, but she gets fouled. And it looks like she's going to get 2. That's the 18th foul on Loyola. And the first personal on number 4, Mccorkle. So Chapius to shoot 2 for the Valkyries. Oh, actually, 1-1, my bad. So she misses the front and 1-1, and Loyola gets the rebound. Backdoor underneath. Barrett knocks it away. Gambala quickly up. Gunlock. Gunlock looking to drive. Spin move. Gunlock going up. Gambala gets the rebound. Gambala off the glass. No good. But she'll go to the line to shoot 2 for the Valkyries. So Bigfork looking to really push it up. Gunlock pushing it. Gambala right there to get the rebound. Put it back up. That is the third personal on number 20. Horner. And 19th foul, and she'll have to come out of the ball game. Callie Martins comes in for Gunlock to give her a break. It looks like Jacobson will come in for Horner. So Horner and Clevenger, both with 2 starters for Loyola, with 3 apiece. And Gambala with a second shot up. Off the rim, no good. Right there is Chapius battling for it. And off of Deshawn's. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath. 26-16, a 10-point lead. 4:48 to go here in the first half. Chapius inbound at Barrett. Barrett underneath. Finds Martins. Martins. Chapius. Looking. Gets it out. Barrett, left side. Gives it over to Davy. Davy looking. Chapius underneath. Kicks it under Gambala. And knocked away by Lindauer of Loyola, so it'll be Bigfork basketball with 4:32 to go here till halftime. 26-16 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Davy gets it inbound. Martins off the glass, too hung, gets her own rebound, puts it up, gets her rebound again. And held ball, possession arrow points towards Loyola. So Callie tried to get it in twice. And gets tied up. And Mccorkle with the basketball. Mccorkle driving right there. And they'll call a blocking foul on Callie Martins. That's her first. And 16th foul on Bigfork. And Gunlock will come back in the ball game and give Ava Davy a little bit of a breather. Both those 2 freshmen have played a lot here today. And the Valkyries need them. Quickly up. Gunlock with a steal. Going coast to coast. Braden Gunlock off the glass for 2. And the Valkyries lead by 12, 28-16 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Mccorkle driving. Guarded by Gunlock. Martins will guard out the top. Jacobson will kick it over. A long 3-point shot on the way. My Mccorkle and drains it about 3 feet behind the arc on the left side to keep Loyola in this ball game. Gunlock quickly up. Barrett, 3-point shot off the rim, no good. And out of bounds. It'll be Loyola basketball with 3:39 to go to halftime. And the Valkyries up by 9, 28-19 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. So Mccorkle inbounds it to Lindauer, back to Mccorkle. Mccorkle, right side, guarded by Gunlock. Martins reaches in. Jacobson with the basketball. Over to Deshawn's, underneath. Barrett's going to get called for the reach foul over the top of Cummings. And that'll bring Loyola to a 1-1 situation here. That's first personal on Emma Barrett and 17th foul. And after the timeout, that'll put Loyola at the free throw line. I believe it's Cummings. And a 30-second timeout taken by the Valkyries here. 3:34 to go here. Or check that, 3:24 to go, 28-19. So the Valkyries outscoring them 23-5. since that early lead by Loyola. So the Valkyries really stepping it up here at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter. And Loyola, it's Cummings at the line. She'll shoot a 1-and-1 for Loyola. And first shot up, too hard. And right down, Chapius comes up with the rebound. And Gunlock quickly up the left side for Bigfork. Davy top of the key, back to Gunlock. In the corner, Martins trying to feed the chasing, knocked away by Deshawn's. And Cummings comes up with the basketball. Up the left side. Cummings will give it up. And Jacobson, top of the key, looking to drive. Kicks it up left side, three-point shot on the way. That's what's keeping him in the ball game. And Cummings with a three-point shot from the left wing. Barrett, Martins, left wing, back to Gunlock. Gunlock, three-point shot on the way is good. 31-22, 2:30 to go. They had the scoreboard wrong as they put it up. It's 31-22, and on the drive. Nice job there by Chapius. Talk about doing the little things. Madison Chapius stands in the middle as Mccorkle drives and takes the player control foul. And the second one on Mccorkle. You won't see that, folks, in the paper, but that's a big play there by Madison Chapius underneath. 2:13 to go. Gunlock, left wing. Martins looking. Gets it out to Gunlock. Gunlock, spin move, comes up, gets it up. Chapius behind her, looking to drive. Chapius off the glass, and she'll go shoot two at the free throw line as the Valkyries are now in the double bonus. And that's the first personal on Evelyn DeBlon's Deschamps for Loyola. And Chapius will shoot two. Little strong off the rim. Bounces around. Again, almost gets it to drop. And she'll get one more. 1:58 to go till halftime. Valkyries lead 31-22 on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. There it is. Chapius off the rim. Martins with the rebound, puts it back up off the glass, no good. And Loyola. Mccorkle quickly up with the rebound. Or check that, Cummings. Cummings will give it to Jacobson. Jacobson, top of the key. Over, blocked away and knocked away. Nice job by Gunlock. Tips it out. Davey with the basketball. Look, Davey looking up underneath. Davey will give it out to Chapius. And knocked away, stole by Cummings. Cummings looking to drive. Cummings off the glass, no good. Right there is Martins with the rebound. Chapius looking to drive. Chapius drives in. Bounce pass to Barrett. Barrett looking, drive, up under, off the glass. And they're going to call a traveling violation on Barrett with 1:20 to go here till halftime. 9-point lead, 31-22 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Mccorkle with the basketball. Mccorkle looking to drive. Floats it. Misses it. Deshawn's comes up with a block by Bigfork. Out of bounds. Blocked there by Davey. It'll be Loyola basketball. 1:05 to go here till halftime. Loyola to inbound underneath. Looking to get it in. Stolen away by Barrett. And Barrett looking quickly. Gets it across the timeline and gives it over to Gunlock. Gunlock on the left side will kick it out. Davey looking to drive. Up, under, feeds Chapius. Chapius gets fouled and she'll go to the line to shoot two. And we'll see who the personal's called on for Loyola, but Chapius at the line to shoot two. They say it's on number 3, Lindauer, her first personal. And Chapius misses the first one. She'll get one more. 50.6 to go here till halftime. Chapius. Second shot on the way. This time off the rim, no good. Rebounded there. And a traveling violation. Nice defense there by Ava Davies. She stood right there. Jacobson got the ball and traveled before she ran into Davies. So it'll be Bigfork basketball with 47.6 to go here till halftime. Barrett gets it up. Chapius on the left wing. Davy, top of the key. Over to Gunlock. Gunlock right wing. Davy, top of the key. Chapius looking to drive. Kicks it out. Gunlock. 3-point shot on the way. Misses it. Right there is Martins. Martins tries to feed to Chapius as Gunlock misses the 3-point shot, but knocked away by Loyola. Bigfork basketball underneath near side. Gunlock inbound. Chapius looking. Looks to drive. Gunlock driving in. Kicks it out to Davy. Davy right wing. They call illegal dribble on Davy with 23.9 to go here till halftime. No change in the score, 31-22 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Into McCorkle. McCorkle across the timeline, guarded there by Gunlock. And 30-second timeout taken by the Breakers. 16.8 to go here in the first half. From the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. And the Valkyries up by 9, 31-22 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And we'll stay right here. Possession arrow points towards the Valkyries on any held ball, but it'll be Loyola basketball in the front court. And McCorkle will inbound for Loyola. Nadeau back in the ball game for Bigfork. Barrett, the starting five actually for the Valkyries. Cummings dribbles through and stolen away. Barrett will come up with it. Actually, Davy feeding underneath. Finds Barrett. Barrett looking to shoot. Off the glass is Barrett. Gunlock at the buzzer. Scores it for two. And the basket is good. That's twice Gunlock has put one in at the buzzer. As the ball bounces around, Gunlock comes up with the loose ball, puts it up, and scores two. So halftime of this ball game, the Valkyries lead 33-22 on your Flathead Lodge scoreboard. I'll be back with the first half stats here from Missoula, Montana. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center, and in halftime brought to you by Averill's Flathead Lake Lodge, where they've proudly supported Bigfork athletics since 1945. Thanks to the Averils, and thanks to Dax Fax Fossen for sponsoring Bigfork athletics, both the Vikings and Valkyries. Well, taking a look at the scoring, Mccorkle leading the way, it looks like, for Loyola. She's hit 3 threes. She actually had 8 points in the first quarter. And 13 overall. Cummings with a 3. And Horner with 6 points. And the only scores for Loyola. They had 14 in the first and 8 in the second for 22. So Valkyries really stepped it up defensively wise and held them to 8 points in the second. And I thought that was key for Bigfork. And taking a look at the scoring for the Valkyries. Make sure I went the right way here. And give me just a second here, folks. I'll get that up for you. I did go the wrong way. And we'll take a look at Barrett with 8, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, and 6 other points, so 8 total. Chapius 0 for 5 from the free throw line. Ava David, 2 big 3-pointers and 6 points. Gunlock leading the way for the Valkyries. She scored 5 in the first and 9 in the second, so 14 overall for Braden Gunlock, the freshman. Scout Nadeau with 4, and Callie Gambala 1 of 2 from the free throw line with 1 point. 18 in the first for Bigfork and 15 in the second, 33. So really balanced scoring, and you really have to give it to the Valkyries and their defense because they went down 14-5 early, so down by 9 in the first quarter, and actually outscoring Loyola the rest of the way. After that mark in the first quarter, they put up 28-8, so they outscore them by 20, and they take the lead at 33-22 at halftime on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. So we're ready for the second half here momentarily. About 5 minutes or so, we'll get underway. Second half here from the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center, and then we'll have the Vikings game after this one. So still some action to go here in the second half for Bigfork. And, the small things, I'll say this, Chapius, picking up that charge, hustling, getting the rebounds, diving for the loose balls. You don't see that on the scoreboard, but, trust me, she's playing a great ball game. And are the Valkyries defense leads the offense and got some things to drop. And Gunlock really did a nice job for Bigfork there, especially the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, as the Valkyries lead this one by 11. I'll be back with the second half here from Missoula, Montana. 406-270-7384. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of the Vals, here from Missoula, Montana. The Valkyries lead 33-22 at half.
All right, we're back here in Missoula, Montana, getting ready to start the second half. Look like the arrow points toward the Valkyries. And the same starters, they'll get Barrett, Chapius, Davey, Gunlock, and Nadeau to start the second half. Loyola, a little bit of foul trouble. A couple of their starters with three fouls in the first half. So we'll see how that quickly they pick up their fourth, or if Courtney Gunlock, the head coach, goes after them to pick up their fourth, including their leader, Natalie Clevenger. So I'm waiting for them to take the court here in the second half, as the Valkyries lead this one by 11. And Horner, Clevenger, along with McCorkle, Janetsky, and Cummings, the same starters for Loyola to start the second half. And we're ready to go. Bigfork to inbound into Gunlock. Third quarter brought to you by Hanson Excavating. Gunlock into Chapius, back to Gunlock. Gunlock thought about shooting the three-point shot. Top of the key in the corner. Nadeau, left wing, gives it up to Gunlock. Inside the free throw line, Gunlock for two. And the Valkyries lead by 13 now. Horner quickly up. Bigfork putting pressure on. Nearly stolen away by the Valkyries. Clevenger. And a foul is going to get called on the Valkyries. Emma Barrett, that's going to be her second first-team foul as they try to trap Clevenger at half court. Inbound. Clevenger in the backcourt cross. Gunlock right there. Barrett steps up. Stolen away. Gunlock quickly up to Barrett. Barrett trying to run her down and can't quite save it out of bounds, as Barrett had had it on the breakaway, and Gunlock tried to feed her and can't quite make the connection. Clevenger across the timeline. Horner sets the screen. Clevenger. Gunlock right there. Horner top of the key. Throws up a three-point shot 2 feet behind the arc. Top of the key and makes it for Loyola. So three-pointers keeping Loyola in this ball game. Gunlock. Barrett, left wing. Back to Gunlock, top of the key. Chapius. Chapius looking back door. Davey going to feed. Nadeau, baseline jumper from about 12 feet is good by Scout Nadeau. And that's key if she can hit that shot for the Valkyries. 37-25 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Driving in the corner. Three-point shot on by Loyola by Mccorkle. Chapius will inbound him. Gunlock. Gunlock will bring it across the timeline. Over to Barrett. Barrett thought about the three-point shot. Gunlock, top of the key. Get it over to Barrett. Barrett's looking. Barrett's going to drive in. Floater. Misses it, but gets her own rebound. Takes it up and under off the glass and scores two as Emma Barrett stays with it on the miss and puts it off the glass for the Valkyries. Horner across the timeline. Gunlock to put pressure away through. Davey quickly up. Gunlock. Gunlock on the breakaway. Up off the glass. Scores two by Gunlock. So Valkyries really getting out and running in here in the second half. 41-28 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Davey with a steal. Davey looking. Finds Barrett. Barrett off the glass. Misses it. And Clevenger comes up with it quickly. McCorkle over to Horner. Three-point shot by Horner. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded there by McCorkle. And foul's going to get called on Chapius as she's going for the rebound on the loose ball foul. That's her second team foul. Davey will come out. Martins will come in for Bigfork. Loyola inbound in the near court. Tries to get in. That's got to be about 5-second violation. Gets it into Clevenger just barely. Clevenger looking to drive off the glass, scores two. Chapius with 3 fouls had to kind of back off on that one. Into Gunlock for Bigfork with 5:22 to go. 11-point lead, 41-30 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Gunlock, guarded by Horner. Calling it out, setting it up. Has Chapius, misses her. And overthrows Chapius does Gunlock. And had her underneath. Quickly, Clevenger, right side. Gunlock right there. Back door, looking to drive. It's Cummings. Cummings drives baseline, misses it. Nadeau with the rebound. Gives it up. Gunlock with the basketball for Bigfork. Look at, puts it underneath Chapius. Chapius this time off the glass. Scores the bucket. And she'll go to the free throw line. That foul's going to be on Cummings. First team foul. And second personal on Cummings. And Chapius to the line to shoot the and one for the Valkyries. Lane violation on Bigfork. Even though the free throw went, it will not count. 43-30. 13-point lead, 4:51 and counting. Clevenger for Loyola quickly up. Trapping is Bigfork. Horner throws it up left hand. No good. Donetsky comes up with the rebound. Mccorkle launches a three-point shot. Right there is Chapius. Natalie Clevenger comes up with a loose ball, throws it off the glass. Got up fouled by Martins, and Clevenger will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Davey coming back in, replacing Martins. Yeah, it's the second personal on Martins. Third team foul on Bigfork. And Clevenger left the line to shoot the N1. Clevenger's shot up is good. 43-33, 10-point lead with 4:35 to go here in the third quarter. Gunlock, top of the key. Across the timeline. Going to the right side, looking. Finds Barrett. Barrett looking to drive for Bigfork. Up, Gunlock, baseline jumper off the rim. No good. Clevenger comes up with the rebound. And she meant to pass it out. Travels as she double clutches it. Gets it out to Horner, but took steps. And turnover to Bigfork. Valkyries will get it underneath. Ava Davey will inbound for the Valkyries. Looking. Chapius cutting back door. Scout Nadeau off the glass on a nice bounce pass by Davey to score two. 4:10 to go. 46-33 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Horner blocked by Nadeau on a nice defense. Chapius now with the ball. Comes up the left side and looking to attack. Gives it out. Gunlock. Gunlock looking to drive. Up. Gives it over to Nadeau. Donetsky comes up with it still on the ground. Check that. Clevenger comes up with a loose ball. Mccorkle with the basketball for Loyola. Try to drive on Gunlock. Mccorkle out. Horner. Three-point shot by Horner on the way. Off the glass. Barrett comes up with a rebound for Bigfork. And Barrett quickly out. Kicking it up is Barrett. Barrett all the way in. And looked like Emma may have got fouled, but no whistle. And Bigfork will take a full timeout. 3:25 to go, 45-33. Or check that. I'm going to double check the score here. Yep, 45-33, 12-point lead. So Valkyries maintaining their halftime lead with 3:25 to go here in the third quarter, and a full timeout taken by the Valkyries. I'll be back with the rest of the third quarter here from Missoula, Montana. Valkyries lead 45-33 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. All right. Back here at Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. The Valkyries leading by 12 with 3:25 to go here in the third quarter. James LaFontaine, glad to be with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Hopefully my voice is getting better as the game goes on. And Loyola inbound. Clevenger will get it back to Horner. Horner will bring it across. Gunlock, top of the key, little press by Bigfork. Horner over the left side, going to be trapped by Davey. Throws it out of bounds. As a pass from Horner to Mccorkle, a little bit high, and turnover to Bigfork. Into Gunlock. Gunlock at 5'11", the freshman. And she drives, going to shoot, gets it over. Scout Nadeau, a little jumper baseline. And off Loyola as her jumper is missed. And remain Bigfork basketball. Davey in the sideline, checking in and inbounding to Gunlock. Gunlock to the top of the key, going to set it up for the Valkyries. In the corner, Barrett. Barrett looking, back out to Gunlock. Gunlock back to Barrett. Barrett looking, going to drive baseline off the glass, no good, too hard. And Clevenger quickly up to McCorkle. McCorkle trying to run, gets tied up. And they'll call a foul on Bigfork. Looked like it was a held ball, but they'll call a foul on the Valkyries. The foul's on 21, Gunlock. That's her second, 14th foul on the Valkyries here in the second half. Quickly in. Cummings. Ava Davey ties up Cummings. And the arrow this time, it points towards Loyola with 2:37 to go here in the third quarter. Horner to inbound. Horner looking to get it in. Gets it to Cummings. Over to Clevenger. Clevenger looking to drive. Clevenger off the glass, no good. Nady with the rebound, quickly out, gets to Barrett. Barrett's going to look to cross over, left-handed, off the glass. Oh! But she'll go to the free throw line as Barrett puts it off the glass, and no good. And that's a foul on McCorkle. That's her second team foul on Loyola. And Emma Barrett to the line to shoot two for the Valkyries. 45-33, 2:27 to go. Barrett makes the first one, so 46-33. On your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard here from Missoula, Montana. Barrett will shoot one more. Up, and nothing but the bottom of the net. So a 14-point lead now for the Valkyries. Gets it up. Clevenger across the timeline. Davey knocks it away momentarily. Goes up to Cummings. And Gunlock looking battle with Clevenger. In the corner to Cummings. Cummings feeds it under. Horner off the glass. No good. And she got fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. A little scrappy as the ball nearly turned over. And that's the third personal on Nadeau. 15 foul. And Horner will go to the line to shoot two for Loyola. Shot up and good. It's the first one, and she'll get one more. And second shot here by Horner. Rolls around and drops. Chapius will inbound to Gunlock. Gunlock, left side, goes to the top of the key, looking to drive. Feeds it out, kicks it out. Chapius on the drive. Chapius gives it to Nadeau. Nadeau drive up off the glass. Oh! Almost dropped, but Nadeau will go to the line and she'll get two to shoot. Or get to shoot two. As a blocking foul is called on number 24. Janetsky, that's her second. Third team foul. And Nadeau at the line to shoot two. First shot is up and good by Nadeau. And Scout will get one more. 1:59 to go, just under 2 minutes. 48-35, Valkyries lead on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Misses it, bounces it off. They say it's off Bigfork. It's Loyola basketball. 1:57 to go. Cummings or Mccorkle will inbound to Clevenger. Back to Netsky underneath. Gets it to drop. She throws it off the glass. Gunlock quickly. Across the timeline. Going to drive over the right wing. Going to drive in is Gunlock. Up, under. Gunlock with the move. Misses it. And they're going to get Nadeau with the personal. Six-team foul on the Valkyries. And fourth personal on Nadeau. And Gambala will come into the ball game for Bigfork with 1:35 to go. Next one on Bigfork will put Loyola in the bonus. Clevenger quickly feeds it out to McCorkle. McCorkle driving on Gunlock. Around the back, between the legs, stolen away by Gunlock. Gunlock looking to take it all the way. Feeds it to Barrett. Barrett off the glass, misses it. No whistle. Clevenger comes up with it. Quickly up, she gets it up to Horner. Horner looking to drive. Up underneath, gets it to McCorkle. Off the glass for two. 48-39, 9-point lead with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Gunlock. Setting it up for Bigfork. Looking to drive on the left side, left wing is Gunlock. Out to Davey. Davey gets it up to Chapius, and Barrett will come up with a loose ball. Barrett, top of the key. Barrett to Davey. Off her foot, right to Chapius. Chapius trying to hit Gambala, throws it out of bounds. over the end line. And Bigfork just needs to hold together. Again, look like they may be a little bit out of gas here in the third quarter. 48-39 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Clevenger across the timeline. Give it over to Horner. Looking for Janetsky underneath. Back to, gives it over to McCorkle. Long 3-point by McCorkle. Out near the Rams sign. 12 seconds to go. One shot for Bigfork. Gives it to Barrett. Barrett top of the key. 7 seconds to go. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius. Barrett. Look it. Gunlock. 3-point shot on the way. Up. Gambala's shot is too late after the horn blows. And Loyola battles back. A 6-point lead, so they cut that almost in half from 11 to 6. 48-42 as we head to the fourth quarter on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. And the 3-pointers are what keeping Loyola in this ball game. And I'll be back with the fourth quarter here from Missoula, Montana. All right, we're back here in Missoula, Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. Valkyries had a comfortable lead, and then a couple threes hit by Loyola. Long three there by McCorkle, about 4 or 5 feet behind the arc. And Bigfork basketball to start the fourth quarter, and a 6-point lead, 48-42 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Barrett in the backcourt gets it to Gunlock. Gunlock guarded by Horner. Will bring it across the timeline. Looking to drive. Gunlock kicks it over to Davey. Davey out to Barrett. Barrett top of the key. Looking to drive is Emma. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius looking. Driving. Gets underneath. Gunlock. No foul called. Gunlock. Underneath. And the head coach, Courtney, talking to the officials, looked like Braden got fouled, but turnover to Bigfork. Chapius, good hustle, battling with Clevenger. And out of bounds off Chapius. It'll be Loyola basketball, 7:32 to go. And McCorkle, the inbound for Loyola. Gets it out to Cummings. Clevenger underneath. Back to McCorkle. Gunlock right there on McCorkle. Not going to give up that 3-point shot. Braden putting the pressure on her. McCorkle, Clevenger. Clevenger looking to drive. Off the glass. No good. Misses it. And Bigfork. Davey comes up with a rebound for the Valkyries. Across the timeline for the Bigfork. And Davey looking to drive. Gets it over. Corner. Left corner to Gunlock. Gunlock looking underneath. Gets it out to Barrett. Barrett guarded by Horner. Looking. Gets it over to Gunlock. Gunlock looking. Spin move. Gunlock up, under. Throws it up. No good. Barrett right there. Rejects it. Gambala. And off of Loyola. She tried to hit Chapius. And Gambala will come out. Nadeau back in with the 4 personals. So the starting lineup for Bigfork back in the lineup. And Davey the inbound underneath. Same play. This time Nadeau misses it. Gets her own rebound and puts it back up. And she'll go to the free throw line. As nice inbound pass, and Davey hit her. And Nadeau shot it just a little bit short. That's the 4th personal on Clevenger. And 14th foul. And Nadeau, Scout Nadeau at the line to shoot 2. First one is up. Rims in and out. And she'll get one more. 6:44 to go. 6-point lead, 48-42 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. And Nadeau, one more free throw for the Valkyries. Shot up. This time it's good. 49-42, 7-point lead. Clevenger with the 4 personals. Give it up to McCorkle, back to Clevenger. Chapius guarding her out top of the key. Gunlock on McCorkle. McCorkle looking to drive. Right there. 3-point shot by Horner on the way. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Gunlock. Gunlock will bring it across the timeline for the Valkyries. In the front court, Gunlock to set it up for Bigfork. Gives it over to Barrett. Barrett top of the key for the Valkyries. Looking. Spin move by Barrett. Off the glass. And out of bounds off of Loyola. Remains Bigfork basketball on the drive by Barrett. And Davey to inbound for Bigfork. Back out. Barrett, top of the key, guarded by Horner. Underneath the Chapius. Chapius free throw line backdoor. Nadeau poked away by Clevenger. And Cummings with the basketball. Cummings, guarded by Barrett. And timeout taken by Loyola. 5:56 to go here in the ball game, and the Valkyries lead 49-42 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. A full timeout taken by Loyola, and I'll take a timeout here from Missoula, Montana. All right, we're back here in Missoula, Montana. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. And the Valkyries with a 7-point lead. And Loyola will inbound in the near court on the far side in front of their student section. Horner to inbound. McCorkle trying to get away in the corner. Gunlock right there putting the pressure on it. Out to Horner. Horner top of the key guarded by Davey. Over to Clevenger. Clevenger looking to drive. And a late whistle. She misses the layup. Then he blows the whistle a little bit late. And Clevenger to the line. That's the fourth on Chapius. 7th team foul. And 2 shots for Clevenger. One more. Shot up. Misses it. Chapius with the rebound. Gets it up to Gunlock. 49-43. 6-point lead. 5:40 to go in the ball game. And Gunlock with the basketball. Out near half court left side. Going to pull Loyola out. And Gunlock looking to drive for Bigfork. Kicks it out. Gets it out to Davey. Davey, a left wing for the Valkyries. Give it up to Barrett. Barrett, top of the key. Looking to slow things down and be purposeful on their offense. And Cummings tries to drive right through Barrett. That'll be the 5th team foul on Loyola. And looking to see how many personals on Cummings. Barrett to inbounds in the front court. They haven't put it up there yet. Gets it to Chapius. Chapius. Gunlock. Gunlock, top of the key, guarded by Clevenger. Gets it up to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. In the corner, Nadeau. Nadeau left wing, out to Gunlock. Gunlock bringing it out near half court. Barrett looking. Janetsky guarding her. Left wing. Gets it into Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. Over to Davey. Davey out to Gunlock. Gunlock with the basketball. Looking. Gets it over to Barrett. Barrett pulling Janetsky out. Gets it over to Gunlock. Little stall by Bigfork. Going to run, look for that backdoor cut. And Gunlock looking to drive on Horner. Gets it up to Chapius. Chapius, top of the key for the Valkyries. And Chapius looking to drive. Gets it up. Nadeau, shot off the rim, no good. Janetsky will come up the rebound. A good shot by Nadeau, misses it. Gunlock comes up with it, throws it up. Looked like she got fouled. Janetsky comes up with it, And Gunlock, backdoor. Barrett off the glass and good. Janetsky went to pass it. Gunlock just stole it out of her hands and feeds Barrett underneath for 2 for Bigfork. Mccorkle trying to drive. Gunlock right there on defense. The third personal on Gunlock. 8th team foul, 1-1. 51-43, 8-point lead, 3:39. Or check that, 3:59 to go here in the ball game. At the line shooting a 1-1. It'll be Mccorkle for Loyola. First shot up short. Nadeau. Chapius with the rebound. Chapius just looking. I give it up to Gunlock. Gunlock will bring it across the timeline for Bigfork. Gunlock looking, driving on Clevenger. We'll give it up to Davey. Davey on the drive and goes underneath, gets tied up. And it'll be Loyola basketball. He is driving with that right hand and could quite control it and put it off the glass. And Loyola basketball. Inbound, Mccorkle, guarded by Gunlock. Mccorkle on the left side. Janetsky. Mccorkle trying to drive in. Tipped away. Chapius with the basketball. Quickly up to Davey. Davey off the glass, got fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line as Cummings lays her out underneath. And Davey to the line, slowly getting up. The third personal on Cummings. 6-team foul, so the Valkyries will be in the bonus on the next foul by Loyola. But Davey was shooting, and she'll get 2 here for Bigfork. Makes the first one. This Davey fighting through it with the injury to her right wrist and doing a nice job, Ava Davey. Second shot up is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 53-43, 10-point lead. 3:23 to go. Into Mccorkle. Mccorkle for Loyola. Brings it across the timeline. Gunlock right there. Horner by Davey. Nadeau right there. Horner. Travel. Nice defense there by Nadeau and Davey to pick up Loyola underneath. And Deshawn's will come in for Janetsky for Loyola. And Bigfork with a 10-point lead, 3:17 to go. Barrett will get it and drive across the timeline, brings it to the front court, and she'll bring it out. Slow it down for Bigfork. Guarded by Horner is Barrett. Backs out, gives it out to Gunlock. Gunlock, top of the key, over the corner. Scout Nadeau, gonna feed Chapius. Chapius off the glass, and good. Scores over Horner, and a nice pass by Nadeau to Chapius, and Chapius putting it in the bucket for Bigfork. And a 12-point lead. 3-point shot on the way, no good. Running it down is Gunlock for the nice rebound as she boxes out Mccorkle in the process. And Barrett will give it up to Gunlock. Gunlock across the timeline. 2:25 to go. Gunlock with the basketball. Gonna feed it up. Barrett. Chapius picks up the loose ball. Looks underneath. Got Stout Nadeau underneath. Nadeau, baseline jumper, no good. Davey gets the rebound, feeds it right to Chapius. Chapius off the glass, too strong. Nadeau with the up and under, off the glass, and scores it for Nadeau as she gets the rebound and puts it back up. 14-point lead, 57-43, 1:56 and counting. Horner kicks it out. Mccorkle, 3-point shot, misses it. Everything. Barrett to the rebound, gives it up to Davey. Davey in the backcourt, guarded by Horner. Davey across the timeline. Looking, gives it up to Barrett. Barrett will give it over to Gunlock. Gunlock, top of the key. Valkyries in a stall. Will give it up, knocked away. Horner tips it away. Driving up the court. Gunlock right there. And Barrett is going to get called for the personal as he tried to pick up the loose ball for Bigfork. 1-1 for Loyola. And Horner with the line. Third personal on Emma Barrett. And 19 foul. And at the line, shooting 1-1 is Gio Horner for Loyola. 1:28 to go, 57-43. Makes the first one, 57-44. So a 13-point lead. They've upped their lead by 2 since halftime so far. Loyola able to get it down to 4. First shot short. Chapius comes up with it. And a held ball. And Bigfork, as Chapius gets on the floor with Cummings. And on the held ball, it belongs to Bigfork. Number 3, Lindauer, coming in the ball game for Cummings. 1:26 to go. 13-point lead. Chapius to inbound. Gets it into Gunlock. Gunlock across the timeline. Looking. Got Barrett. Barrett off the glass. Scores 2 on a nice pass by Gunlock. 59-44. 1:10 to go. Clevenger on the drive. Takes it aggressively against Chapius. And that'll be number 5 for Madison Chapius, who's done an outstanding job for the Valkyries today. That'll be her 5th, 10th team foul. And Clevenger to the line to shoot 2. As Ellie Jort will come to the ballgame for Bigfork with 1:09 to go. And the Valkyries up 59-44 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. She misses the first one, and she'll get one more. Second shot up is good. 59-45, 14-point lead into Barrett. Back to Gunlock. So Gunlock across the timeline, just going to hold it out. Make Loyola come out and play defense. Gunlock, the freshman at 5'11". Spin move. Gives it up to Davy. Davy will bring it back out. Drives baseline. Gives it up. Nadeau up, under, off the glass. Off the rim and no good, but she'll go to the line and shoot 2 for Bigfork. 50.2 to go. Misses the first, she'll get one more. And a 14-point lead. Nadeau's second shot off the rim, no good. Right there, nice rebound by Gunlock. Saves it out to Nadeau. Out to Davy. Davy will kick it up. Nadeau off the glass this time. Misses it, but right there is Davy with the rebound, and she'll go to the line. To shoot 2. That's the 4th personal on Horner. 18th foul. And Davy the line to shoot 2 for Bigfork. (60-45) makes the first one, misses the second one, but Gunlock right there with the rebound for Bigfork. Davy back out to Gunlock. 25 seconds to go. Out to Barrett. Barrett top of the key. Looking to drive. Doesn't need to score. We'll give it over to Jort. Jort brings it back out. Barrett. Left wing. Looking to drive is Barrett. Barrett drives baseline. Kicks it out to Gunlock. Over to Davy. Davy top of the key. Back out to Gunlock near half court. 10 seconds to go. And Gunlock will let the clock run out. 60-45. As the clock winds down. And the Valkyries win this one to go to 12-1 on the season, and a preview for the Western B Divisional Tournament. I'll be back with post-game here to wrap things up with Courtney Gunlock and a couple of players from Bigfork before we get into the girls' game. I'll be back with your full game stats here from Missoula, Montana. The Valkyries win this one 60-45 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard.
All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. Wrapping things up with the Valkyries. And their ball game winning 60-45. And post game brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Take a look here. See if I can get this to work. Jacobson, Clevenger, overall with 7 points. Mccorkle, the big scorer for them, obviously hit 5 threes. 21, 3 for Cummings. Excuse me. Hard to read this on my phone. Quit turning on me. 12 for Horner and 2 for Janetsky. Overall, 45 for them. And for the Valkyries, leading the way. 18 by Gunlock, 14 by Scout Nadeau, 14 by Barrett, 9 by Chapius, 4. Check that. Ava Davey with 9, 4 by Chapius, Gambala with 1. So overall, 60. Excuse me. Little scratchy voice. Was hoping to get the coach up here, and maybe I'll talk to her during the boys' game. I was hoping to get it. So the Valkyries move overall to 12-1 now on the season. Looking good coming into districts, and they'll be in action next Thursday as we head to Troy. Take on the Lady Trojans. And I'll have that game as well on BFST Events on YouTube from Troy, Montana. And then on the 5th, they'll be at home taking on Plains, and it'll be a doubleheader with the Vikings and Valkyries against Plains. And then Polson, boys go on the road, girls are at home, and we'll have that game for you. And then coming up the end of the season at home, senior night, it will be the Vikings and Valkyries taking on Thompson Falls, the Blue Hawks and Lady Hawks at home. Well, that wraps it up for me. I'll try to talk to Courtney maybe during the boys' game if she comes up here. We'll talk about that. I need to wrap things up and get over and start a new broadcast for the Vikings as they get ready to take on the Rams in your pregame. So your final on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard, it is the Valkyries winning 60-45. Thank you for joining me on Valkyrie Basketball. We'll be back with the Viking basketball here momentarily from Missoula, Montana.